Boom. Whew. Barely got it, man, but got it enough to hurt. Welcome back to our off-grid homestead. Oh yeah, buddy. It is beautiful spring weather out there, and it is a great time to be finishing up our shower here that we're working on. Some of the final steps in finishing our home on our homestead. In our last video, we set the base in a mortar base, and now it is like super solid. It's way solider than it was before, like when we just had it set in here. And so that mortar really, man, it made it nice. And now we got to get the cement board. We're not actually using cement board, we're using GoBoard. And so we'll show you how to install that GoBoard on the walls here. We got to get our nail plates up and plumb this wall a little bit. We're going to have to shim it out just a bit. First, we're going to check the plumbness of this wall in the corner. Man, and that looks pretty plumb. What do you think?
Let's see.
Looks good, huh?
Closer to the bubble.
Pretty plumb.
Yeah, that looks pretty good from right there.
That corner's plumb, right? And this is kind of like the main concern is the corner, because if they're not plumb, right, say like this is the corner, then if it starts going like that or like that, then that gap right here, the grout gap in the corner, will get thicker and wider. So we don't want that. So check this way. And that wall is plumb, but this, guys, is the dangerous part right here. Not dangerous, but it's just not perfect. So it's about 1 shim thickness off. See right there? Right about there-ish. So we're gonna go ahead and shim this wall, the top part, out this way, just a little bit. So we're just marking here every foot where the screws are gonna go into the GoBoard, and that way we know where our shims need to go so that the screw goes into the shim. So we need 12 1/8 inch. So it's gonna work out pretty good. Hopefully we're not gonna have a bunch of waste. Look at that, that doesn't even line up, man. Because that's bigger than 12 1/8 inch. There we go, that's where it's supposed to be. Okay, that's where we cut her. Anyway, hopefully we won't have a bunch of waste, because we kind of figured out how we're gonna do it. We'll take this piece right here, that'll go on the back wall, and then that side will go on the side wall, and we'll just have to cut it down a little bit. They say that this stuff is supposed to be super easy to work with. What do you think, Jules?
Yeah, I think we're gonna find out here in just a second.
It looks super easy.
It does make your skin itch terribly.
Yeah, it does. Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
wow. Huh.
It's kind of like sheetrock.
Yeah, but way nicer. That's way cool. Man, that's like super smooth. So we'll start off with 2 of those. We'll save this one for the sidewall. Take another one. We'll cut 12 1/8 off of that one. Don't put your arms on it, Jules.
I'm paying for it the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Feels like little shards of glass or something.
Yeah, it's like this must be like coated in fiberglass or something, huh? I'm just gonna try to go over it once like that.
Ooh. Still did good, which is 1 pass.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna try a technique that I saw. Man, he's a Canadian guy. He does like all kinds of home remodeling stuff, DIY something guy. But anyway, he showed how to wet shim. So we're gonna try to wet shim. Seems like it'll be way easier. We've got our new Renogy 590 watt solar panel. It's double-sided. You can see this is the front, of course. We've got the back here, and then we used Unistrut to make a mount for it here. We're going to use this to control our greenhouse, all of the off-grid stuff on it. And we went with 590 watts so that in the winter time, hopefully we'll still be making enough power to keep the batteries charged on the greenhouse and be able to operate it like it's supposed to. But this guy's tall, man. I mean, look at how tall this thing is. Pretty wide. Carry it over there, and then Jules is gonna help me get it up on the pole. We're gonna go ahead and attach it to the pole and then tilt the whole thing up, I hope. We got it all set up there now, and it's working perfectly. We've got it hooked up to our Victron charge controller, and right now we are generating 12 watts. That's it, because it is fully charged. The battery is topped off. We are in float mode. And so that means it's working perfectly, just like it's supposed to. Like you saw earlier, right? This is a bifacial panel, meaning that it can generate power off of the backside, like reflected onto the backside. And so it can generate up to an additional 170 watts on the backside. And of course, you don't have to mount it on a pole like we did here. You can mount it on a roof, like a flat roof, a sloped roof. You could do a ground mount, just like you would mount any other solar panels. You can mount this guy too. Another cool thing is that Renogy has a 10-year warranty on their panel and a 25-year 80% warranty, meaning that it will produce 80% of its power after 25 years of being installed up there. We want to thank Renogy for sponsoring this video and sending us out this really cool panel. There is a link down in the description below. We can get all of the information that you need if you want to check it out. Let's get back to that bathroom.
Maybe it'd be a good idea for you to put baby powder all over you.
So that it doesn't get so, or washes off easier?
Yeah, like you do with sheetrock. I mean, you don't do that, but...
Like insulation?
Yeah, that's right, insulation, yeah.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Helps it to not stick into your pores.
Kind of want a big hole, I think, because we need a big bead down there. This is the GoBoard sealant right here. I'll show you where we put it, because I watched the video on YouTube about it. All right, let's put it in there, huh? Wow, man.
Did you puncture it? I bet you didn't puncture it.
It looked like there wasn't a thing to puncture.
I
But
just know that I've done that before.
I know, I looked in there and I thought I saw that it was,
It was open.
yeah, just sealed by that cap, but you're probably right. Oh, yeah. Gotta puncture it first.
I just know I've done that. I've squeezed and squeezed. I'm like, oh, silly.
Maybe if we read the directions, huh, Jules?
Seems like one of the most important things right here.
Yep.
Can you imagine getting water down there?
No, that'd be terrible. So this is how we said how to do the wet shimmying. Basically, you put a little bead, this is a big mess of bead, but put a little bead on here of the quick set, and then when you put the board up, you press it into it, and you just put it on the tops, the screws up here at the top and the bottom, and then you press it into it until it's plumb. That's right, Jules. She knows.
I was just filling in your sentences.
Till it's plumb, right? And then you let the quick set dry up, or set. Then you can put the screws in the middle.
Wow, that stuff smells good. Wow.
I know, huh? We use this for the wood stove.
Yeah.
All right, let's set our first piece in there. And we come down all the way. All right, we'll go ahead and screw the bottom in. Probably supposed to do every 6 inches along the edge, I bet. Anyway, I think it's gonna be good. Like we've got right there, and we're plumb. Pretty good, plumb. It's great.
Cool. Yeah, that was good.
It's good, huh? Ooh, barely got it, man, but got it enough to hurt.
Is this stuff the same? You're supposed to stagger seams?
I don't really know, but I figured probably best if we just do it.
Yeah.
45 1/4. So we've got a fancy kind of cut that we've got to do here for around the bottom of the shower on the side. So we got that back finished. So we got to get this side one cut. But so far, this stuff's super simple to work with, except for the itchiness of it. That's kind of lame. Now then, we come over 35 3/8. And then we go up 5 1/2. And that's what we got to cut out. Definitely wouldn't want to pull that right into your leg, would you? That ought to do it. Let's see if it fits. Wow. Looks like... I think we'll cut the sheetrock back.
Okay.
Because the sheetrock's a little past the middle. Ooh, past the middle of that stud, especially down at the bottom there.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So we went with the GoBoard on a recommendation of Courtney and Riley, some friends of ours here in Sandpoint. They said it's really easy to use. Watch some YouTube videos on it, and the YouTubers, other YouTubers who are like professional tilers and stuff, they seem to say it's really easy to use, and I tend to agree. So let me know, have you ever used GoBoard, and do you have like your favorite, man? What's your favorite backer board? If it's not this stuff. Because like there's no tape, there's no nothing, it's just the board, screws, and sealant. If I'm doing it right, that's it. And that sealant, man, it's like rubber when it dries. It's like you're putting on rubber. All right, forgot to measure for the hole for the shower thing. Let's cruise inside there and do that, huh? Let's just take this with us and we'll mark it that way.
Okay.
So the hole for going around this, right? You want to be able to get this cartridge out later. And so it needs to be smaller than this because this is going to go over the tile and everything. And then it's got a gasket here, and then the water can come out the bottom. And so it just needs to be smaller than that. So we'll go with that. What do you think? It's a good size, huh?
Looks pretty good.
I'm doing this in reverse, so hopefully it doesn't tear it up. And that was fast, like lickety split. Looks great, huh? It's off a little bit again. The other one was off too.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean...
Oh, the hole?
Yeah, it'll work, but I wanted it perfect. But it's off like half an inch.
Maybe the other boards are not set below it?
Yeah. Maybe because it's a little bit cocked. I don't know, but this needs to be trimmed down a little bit. All right, we're ready, Jules. We got 1.5 tubes of caulk left. I'll use it, and hopefully we've got enough. But we might have to go get more. Who knows? Stay there.
We do need to do all the screws also.
Yeah, we got to do all the screws. So we put a bead of it down here for it to glue itself to. So you get a seal at the shower pan.
That area down there seems like the most important part.
Yeah, for sure. So that's where the most water is going to hit, huh?
Yeah, that's what I think. Splash up, run down.
All right.
Do you go all the way to the floor there?
No, I mean it doesn't go all the way to the floor because you need that gap underneath it, like the sheetrock, so that you can put your flooring underneath it or whatever. Oh, whew, almost forgot another important spot.
Screws.
Oh, this corner here. All right.
Last little bit. It's gonna be real echoey in here.
Oh, there's a nail plate there. Nail plate. Nail plates work. Whew, we're almost done, man. With this part, anyway.
Are you gonna have enough caulk, you think?
I think so, yeah.
Sweet. Last tube.
While we're waiting for that sealant to dry, let's cruise on out here to the garden and try to get some plants put in there. Oh yeah, by the way, check it out. We are like in full spring mode. Jules is carrying heavy stuff and she has shorts on. Wait, I have shorts on and flip-flops, man. Oh, it's springtime. So anyway, we're making tons of power. We don't have any power issues anymore. The grass needs to be mowed here pretty soon. And all of this needs to be planted. Oh, look at these cool trees, man. Our friends Aaron and Karen got us these trees here. This one is a Cosmic Crisp, new variety of apple. And this one over here is a dwarf Fuji. Probably because it's already a little bit late in the spring, we're going to leave them in the pots, leave them in the greenhouse over the summer, and then in the fall, we'll plant them outside where they go. Plus, we got to figure out a way to protect them from the deer and the moose that looks good and is durable. And we need to decide like the permanent location. Kitty, what are you doing in there? What are you doing inside the mini greenhouse? Huh? Just being warm, guys, that's all. We got to get all these guys in the ground up there. These guys are not going in the ground. These are Joel's flowers. She's doing like a special project with those. Shut down the table. We're ready to go. But these guys, man, they just don't look good at all. That's why we're going to plant them in the ground because they're just, I'm not happy with them at all. They just look lame. They look so scrawny. These, I guess the cucumbers look okay, but broccoli looks scrawny. Tomatoes look scrawny and like poorly colored. Peppers, they're taking so long to grow. They're wet. Gave them some Miracle Grow. I don't know what's up with them. So we're just stick them in the ground. Hopefully they grow. Jules is out here, what? Hooking up our, what are you doing?
Line.
Hooking up our drip line, huh?
What do you think? Just directly there?
Yeah, I think that's how we were doing it before.
Okay. And then I have the flexible ones on both sides, and we can hook a hose up to that side if we want.
Yeah.
But
that's cool.
I need to program it.
Yeah, it's not straight.
And this year we're going to
there you go.
Thank you. We're going to start by watering them less.
Yeah.
I think I went a little overkill last year.
Right, what were we doing last year? Like 20 minutes twice a day or something?
I can't remember exactly, but I think we were actually doing 3 times a day for a while. And then took it back to the 2 times a day. But even with that might have been too much. So I think we should start with 1 30-minute a day in the morning and see how that does for them.
Right. Yeah, because I don't know if you remember earlier this year, we had so much like moss growing in there because I think it was a little too wet. Tomatoes and peppers all down this row right here. We've got cucumbers, broccoli, and eggplant in this row right here. This is Sarah and Colin's row, but I forgot. And I planted peppers down there in like the last quarter. Don't tell Sarah.
Oh, they're not going to like that.
So if they don't like them down there, they can just pull them out. They're already planted because I forgot. So, you know, that's all right. But this right here is going to be a wall of peas. And I don't know what's going to go in front of the peas yet. Something, but let me show you the, oh, here they are right here in my pocket. Peas, snow peas, man. These are like the best garden vegetable. We got some volunteers coming up too. We got Kale volunteering. These peas too right here.
Tomato over here.
Tomato volunteering. And we've got 2 pea plants volunteering. And so I think next year we're just gonna seed directly in the bed, because why not, right? Like, these guys are coming up. I don't see why not to do that. Maybe there's a reason, like for the tomatoes and the peppers. I don't know, but we got a tomato volunteer, and every year we've had tomato volunteers in the outside garden beds. And that gets like snowed on and frozen and everything. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Just sow right in here because it's in the greenhouse, or plant them and transplant them. We should do an experiment. That's what we should do. Maybe we'll try that. All right, we got it all planted. Seeds are in. Peas galore. We've got eggplant seeds, okra seeds, blank for Sarah and Colin, and cucumbers, peppers, tomatoes. That's mostly it. Cucumbers, peppers, tomatoes.
Eggplant.
Yeah. Strawberries are doing good right there. And then I just planted some more that are going to be pot peppers. These are habaneros. So we're going to keep these in the pot so we can try to keep them over the winter in the house. And then these 2 right here, those are actually, like, in English, they're probably called Thai peppers. At least that's what it says on the package. But they're the same peppers that we have in Indonesia, which are cabai rawit. Yeah, cabai rawit. And excellent pepper, small, spicy, great with fried rice and all kinds of food.
Hey Marty, are these crumpled up papers
Garbage.
the ones that you planted?
Yeah.
Okay. I like to keep them as a record so we know what variety. That way, if we really like that variety, we can
Try to get it again?
try to
Okay.
get them again.
Cool. I just saw another volunteer tomato right here, right there. And oh no, you just planted those. I'm like, dude, there's a volunteer. Jules just planted those ones.
This whole row is tomatoes, and then that whole row is peppers. No,
Cool.
cucumbers. Sorry. Cucumbers. Wait, no, sorry. That's why I need a map. These are all tomatoes. These are all peppers. Those are all cucumbers.
Amen.
Planted the things we like.
Yeah. So we'll see how it does, guys. But that is going to do it for this video. We picked out this video right up here for you to go ahead and watch next. Hope you have a really great day. Keep smiling.